tell me, order me a pack, then I gotta meet up. Police right behind me, so I had to speed up. Sitting in the back of the Tahoe, leaned up. We just crossed the border, drinking margaritas. What you want? A new salon. That's still my song. Put you on. I break you off. I want the jaw. If you sneaking on the nigga, I'ma find out. Whip it right out. 20 bitches in the Jeep, they had to climb out. Why these people staring? Why they hating on me? I'm taking flights to London out of Germany. I get the pack and I flip it back, it's overseas. She getting wet when she hear my voice and melodies. When I hit her with the right stroke, dance up on a ditch like she might go. Baby, I'ma hit her one time and then I might go. I got these bitches drooling on me because
Yo. Alright, this RTS draft is about to get started. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Cure. We are live with episode number 7. This is a $500 real-time fantasy sports invitational draft. 72 teams total, broken down into 6 individual 12-team leagues. This is the 6th and final draft of the invitational. $17,500 at stake. So really, really cool tournament. You had to be a top 500 player on the RT Real-Time Fantasy Sports website to even be eligible to be entered into this tournament. So we're going to review this draft tonight and just kind of check out and see how the board goes for everybody. And if any of you guys that are in the draft are in the chat, let us know. And good luck to y'all. This is the Fantasy Cure. Again, this is episode number 7. The Fantasy Cure is brought to you by Real-Time Fantasy Sports and Draft Hero. All right, we got round 1 off in the books. It's up and running. First 3 picks are made here. All right, let's see. Make sure it's still updating for everybody. There we go. All right. Man, it sure has been nice watching all this college football today. Lots of fun. I'm thinking about doing a fantasy championship league tonight, guys. Thinking about doing me a TFC tonight. What you guys think? Should I do a TFC tonight or? It's crazy that we're almost ready to rock for the season. All right. So far, we've got Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, and Cooper Kupp. Getting towards the end of the first round here as Joe Mixon goes off the board at the 9th position. So on board tonight, let's see here. We have Team Shotdown, Donkey Punch, Krusty RTFFC, Hair Trigger, Truth RTF, Team Batman, TT500, RTFFC Invitational, Green Machine, Nasty Boys, Suncoast 68, and Sideline Pattern. All right, Najee Harris goes at the 10th spot. All right, DeAndre Swift and Stephon Diggs to wrap up the first round. Round number 2, the first pick off the board is Saquon Barkley. Devontae Adams. Hey, what's up, Preston? Honestly, I'm not sure. A lot of these guys hide their names, and I'm not really sure who any. I know Stephen Hawley. Stephen actually in the 12 hole. Stephen actually won the fantasy championship. I want to say about 3 or 4 years ago. He actually won this, or this is not the fantasy. I'm sorry. He won the fantasy championship though. I'm pretty sure the year that he won it, the prize was like $250,000 too, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah. All right, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, Leonard Fournette, and Javonte Williams. What's up, Christopher? It's CTF. Write that down. What's up, Chris? Chris, we got to get you on TikTok, man. Or maybe we don't. Chris said that TikTok's too hip for me. And I tell you guys what, if you've never played at Real Time Fantasy Sports, now's the time to do it. Um, there's definitely some overlay in the fantasy championship this year. Not sure how it's going to end up. Because we got, let's see, tonight is Saturday night. We've got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then there'll be a few drafts on Thursday as well. So 5 more days of drafting. What is up, Hulk Smash? All right, Travis Kelsey off the board. The Smash. Travis Etienne going in the second round, mixing it up. I like it. I like it a lot. But yes, now would be the time to jump in. There's tons of leagues flying off the board right now at real time. Just look in the description. Look in the description of the video. There's a promo code that you can use to sign up if you've never played it real time before. Chris, we'll have to do something for DFS for real time as the season gets going here in the next few weeks too. As we do the weekly streams coming up for the in season stuff. See if we can't get some folks over to the DFS side too. Brooklyn says, "I'll be happy when the drafts are over." It's yeah, I've got my hands pretty full as well with the waiver wire work coming up that I need to get on. Those first waivers are so important, and there's so much available, especially in those drafts that I did. I mean, some people have been drafted these leagues since like March, so there's no telling what's on the waiver wire for those leagues. But even in the ones I did back in early July, there's a lot of players on the wire that people are going to be bidding like crazy on. All right, CeeDee Lamb and Nick Chubb, the next two off the board. CeeDee Lamb and Nick Chubb. But yeah, you guys, so Stephen Hawley in the 12th spot, he did actually win the fantasy championship. Like I said, I believe it was like 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm pretty sure he was when he won the prize. I want to say it was $250,000. Yeah, I mean the waivers don't really bother me either. I kind of love it too. It's like you're managing your team. It's like a management process. So I mean, we are the GMs of our fantasy football teams, right? So I kind of like it too. All right, so in the one hole, decides to go 3 straight wide receivers: Justin Jefferson, Debo, and T. Higgins. Donkey Punch took Tyreek Hill, and he is now on the clock in the third round. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, I mean I've got a pretty good bit of teams. What's up, Fozzie? Yeah, I've got a pretty good bit of teams myself. I'm probably going to end up somewhere by the time I'm done around 25 TFCs. And then I have, some other leagues too, RTFFCs, and I think I have a high stakes as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'll have quite a bit to do myself. And then I've got like, some home leagues that I do around with my friends and stuff. They usually um are on like ESPN and Yahoo, little podunk leagues, but 70 TFCs, nice. That's probably total leagues. I don't know exactly how many I'll have, but I'll probably be around something like that, some number like that. All right, Michael Pittman's off the board. Mark Andrews is off the board to Krusty. That's actually a really good number, Brooklyn. I'm kind of jealous. It only takes one, It only takes one. So hoping for some good success this year. I'll tell you what, those first few weeks, man, they are nerve wracking because a lot of players. It happens every year, Like a lot of players don't start off like you thought they would, and you're just like, what the hell was I thinking? Drafting this player or that player, and sometimes and then sometimes those players just don't pan out for the whole season. You're like, my gosh. And then you have some teams where you nailed your calls or your late round stuff, and it just all works. It's all working together in your favor. It's like, man. All right, Mike Evans is off the board to hair trigger. AC's got 150. I don't think there's a max on how many teams we can do for the TFC, is it? I don't believe there is a max that you can do. Yeah, but I mean, I know AC does a ton. I know Malins does a ton of TFCs as well. There's no telling how many Malins has. All right, Kyle Pitts is off. 3 tight ends off the board so far before the middle of the third round. Interesting. Oh, the max is 150? Okay. I kind of thought that, but for some reason I talked myself out of that. I was like, no, I don't think there is. So 150 is the max. Okay, cool. I mean, because the total amount of teams is what 6,000, like 6,000, almost 6,700 or something like that. AJ Brown goes off the board, and then James Conner. Mike Reeves goes 3 running back heavy to start the draft with Henry, Javante, and Connor. DJ Moore's off the clock. Okay, AC, you did 146. Okay. Okay, Aaron, we're sorry. Now, guys, he did 146. Now stop. Yeah, it's crazy. Which I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that thing has to feel. I mean, I know they kind of went up a little bit on the entry fee this year, but the prize pool, I mean, it's amazing. It's 500,000 this year to win it. All right, Mike Williams and Allen Robinson off the board. AC, you said that. I think AC said his last draft was last night. Though he was gonna. That's it for him as far as drafts. He's gonna get started working on his waiver stuff. Keenan Allen goes off the board. Man, look at those wide receivers right there. That's definitely some change right there. With Moore, Williams, Robinson, and then Keenan Allen, that's different. That's a lot different than my TFC last night. Oh, I'm just playing, Aaron. I'm just picking with you, buddy. All right, Cortland Sutton and Gabriel Davis. I feel like Aaron said that with a straight face. No, Ray, not 146. I mean, obviously, I can't. Text is like so out of context. I can't tell what the hell. But I feel like you said that with such a straight face, Aaron. No, Ray, not 146. Hell, Aaron's probably drafting right now. Smash, how many TFCs are you going to end up with? I think I've got 18 drafted right now. I plan on doing probably another 8 or 9 or something like that. Oh goodness, he did one last one today. Famous last words. One last one. Need to put the buzzard up. Put that horn up. All right, Hulk says, okay, so you're doing 35. Smash, have you drafted all yours that you're going to do, or do you have someone other ones that are coming up? All right, to round out, we're out of round 2 into round 3. First 3 picks off the board are Gabriel Davis, Deontay Johnson, and Brandon Cooks. 20 RTFFCs. Preston said he's got one more. Preston, what's your username on I think you've told me before. I'm sorry guys, I get confused between names in here and the names over there. What is your RT Sport or Discord name, Preston? Michael Thomas off the board. All right, Hulk says he has 5 more TFCs to do. Did all of the RTFFCs fill, guys? Like, are those all pretty much all done? Or is there a color that's still filling more leagues? I actually haven't looked at that today. I couldn't remember if they were doing another one or not. Chris says, I have a feeling you have at least one more in you, AC. AC, listen, I'm not trying to be greedy about it, but I feel like you got maybe 10 more, maybe a good 10 pack in you. Now, see, you think I would have known that, Preston? Like, how hard was that to figure out? I'm telling you. All right, Damian Pierce. Wow. Man, that guy just keeps moving up and up the boards, doesn't he? Good grief. All right, Damian Pierce, Scary Terry McLaurin, and Zeke off the board. We're about mid fourth round here. Sorry, mid fourth round. Here, let me text Lee and see if we can get Lee's sassy ass in here. You know what, Brooklyn? I'm right there with you, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not sure how much of a train it's gonna be. I mean, listen, he's looked great, no doubt. But that team's not gonna be very good, in my opinion. I mean, and he's been playing against, a lot of teams. Like when they played the 49ers, I mean, the starting defensive line wasn't playing. None of the starting linebackers were playing. I mean, it's a whole different game. But I do think Pierce has potential to be solid for sure, but man, it'd be hard as hell for me to take him in the 4th round like that. That's crazy. Now, where these other guys were getting them like way deep in the draft, I mean, that's going to pay off, but interesting for sure. Smirk said, I tried to crap money, but electric bill shot out. Damn it, Smirk. Yeah, I think AC was telling me he planted one of those money trees a couple years ago. All right, we've got AJ Dillon, Josh Allen, and David Montgomery. Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting to see Pierce. And with him, it looks like he's going to start off being the starter. It's like, which kind of worries me too. Honestly, if he's really good, he's really good. It is what it is. And I think he's going to be decent. But a lot of times too, rookie running backs hit that rookie wall, man. And for his usage or what they're using them for, like I don't know what the plan is, but I don't know. We'll see, man. like I said, that team's not very great. I mean, I do think they're taking strides. They've made some good picks. They made some good moves. We'll see, but it's man, it'd be very hard for me to take him right there. That's for sure. He's flown up the board. All right, Hollywood Brown is off the board. We're about to round out round 4 here. We're about to round out round 4. Let's see what the one hole does. He's got 3 wide receivers so far. Yeah, I think that's fair, Brooklyn. RB3 flex somewhere in there. All right, Brees Hall goes off the board and Jalen Waddle. So the one hole, he went wide receiver heavy and then took rookie running back Brees Hall. Interesting strategy. What do you guys think about Brees Hall? Can't really hold much to preseason, but man, that team in general just doesn't look very good, does it? The quarterback issues with Zach Wilson's already banged up, and I mean Flacco is definitely a capable backup, but he's pretty injury prone too as he's gotten older in his career. Yeah, he does. He does me too. I mean, he has all. Listen, he has all the attributes. Honestly, I mean, Brees Hall is. He was at Iowa State, man. He's freaking phenomenal. Like all his agility, athleticism, his size. I mean, he's everything you want in a running back. I'm just I'm just not sure if it's going to pay off for his ADP this year. I have him some. I have him on a few teams, and I ain't gonna lie. I was trying to mix it up here and there, but um, he never. I mean, it was just hard for me to take. Like where I have him, he kind of fell, but it was just hard for me to take. Yeah, I understand all that, and I agree, Fozzie. I think he's going to be a 3 down back too. But at what point does he take over the job number one, and then is his ADP going to reflect his usage and fantasy production this season? Now next season, I could be all over him. That's a different story. But I'm just not sure what his opportunity is going to equate to in fantasy production for this season. I mean, I completely agree with everything you said. I'm just not sure when he will get the keys to the when they'll give him the keys is what I'm trying to say. And and I wonder if he struggles any. That's another thing too. Like their O line's not very good. Um, they should be better in the passing game, but I mean Flacco's the quarterback probably for the first 2 or 3 weeks until Zach Wilson gets back. Then he's got to get back to game speed. Then before you know it, half the season's gone. That team's still atrocious, and Zach Wilson has. I mean, he just hadn't looked very good. So I have my reservations about him too. But I mean, we'll see. All right, Ramondre Stevenson goes off the board. DK Metcalf and Elijah Mitchell. We're about midway through the 5th round, and it really has nothing to do with Brees Hall. I just don't. His ADP scares the hell out of me. I think that's more than anything. By week 3 starts going off. I mean, listen, it could. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll put it that way. But I just, man, like he better for where people are drafting him. Like he damn well better produce like you're talking about. Because if not, I mean, that's definitely going to be a busted pick right there. You just can't have a mediocre season of where he's going and like the players that are going around him. You can't afford to lose any production right there at those spots where he's going. I mean, I've seen Brees Hall going a lot of times in the 3rd round, like on that 3rd, 4th turn, especially weeks ago before preseason started. He was going to the 3rd round pretty consistently. So I mean, I guess that's a little better on the 4-5 turn right there, but still, like I said, it scares me a little bit. There's just so many good options right in there. All right, Darnell Mooney is off the board, and we got a little quarterback run going here. Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Amon St. Brown was drafted in between there. All right, we're inching towards the end of the 5th round. The P before the halt makes sense. Yeah, actually, it really does. I had to tell myself that too. Yeah, Pierce went way up, of course, from his preseason blow up. All right, J.K. Dobbins is off the board. Well, that and the Marlon Mack, he got when he got cut, that was surprising too. Chris Godwin's off the board. All right, we're rounding out the 5th round here. Next 2 picks. So it's Fozzie's fault why Pierce's ADP flew up the board. Okay, I got you guys. All right, Juju Smith-Schuster is off the board. Excuse me. Juju on that beat. Rashad Bateman and Chase Edmonds. See, I've kind of really warmed up on Chase Edmonds, and I'm, I really like Chase Edmonds now. I'm not going to say the player's name since that other guy got cut. I kind of pushed him up even more now, and to me, that's a great pick by Steven in the 12 hole. Getting Edmonds at the 5-6 turn, wow. Josh Jacobs is off the board, and then Schultz. Elijah Moore is off the board. And Jerry Jeudy. You like Batman's team so far, Brock? Cam Akers. Well, he's definitely going to have nice balance. Top tight end, possibly top overall QB. Great wide receivers too. Yeah, I was about to say I'm not crazy about the Zeke pick either, but the rest of that team's pretty damn good. So AC, did you enjoy your TFC today? Were you happy with your team that you ended up with? Antonio Gibson. Yeah, see the running back situation he's doing here has got me a little on edge too. I don't like I don't necessarily like either one of his running back picks. All right, Brandon Ayuk. I was wanting to talk about something too about Debo Samuel. It's so fun. It's so funny to me. Like, the first thing people throw out there about Debo is, do you really think he's going to produce what he did last year? Hell no, I don't. I don't think he's going to produce that at all. But he doesn't need to. I don't need Debo to score 360 fantasy points to pay off where he's going this year. Like, Debo can take a huge decrease in production and still be a great value at his ADP. So, some folks are going a little overkill on the Debo situation for me. And you finally, and you get the upgrade as far as, like, you know, I mean, Debo's yak's going to be fine either way, but still, he's definitely going to catch more than 5-yard slants this season. But yes, no, I don't agree. I don't think Debo's going to score what he did last season. No, I don't at all. I don't think he'll score, 14 touchdowns. So, but I do think Debo's going to be a great value still. I think Debo is going where he needs to go. Let's put it that way. I think he's going exactly around the area he needs to go. There's Mizzou. I wouldn't read too much into that, Aaron. I really wouldn't. Shanahan too is like, listen, Trey is one of the, he's gonna need lots of reps. All these live reps that he's gonna get early on this season is gonna help him so much. I wouldn't be too concerned about Trey. I really wouldn't. He's in a great situation, man. And I think his running ability is super underrated too. And it's just going to open up so many things. Shanahan he didn't really show much during preseason, and Trey didn't even play very much either. They've had 2 full weeks of practice before this first game, and I think Trey's going to be just fine. He's such a steal at his ADP too. All right, let me catch up the draft here for everybody. All right, so Cam Akers, wow, Cam Akers in the 6th. Holy crap! All right, now that's great value right there for Akers. Holy shit, I didn't even see that. All right, then it was Gibson, Brandon Ayuk, Tony Pollard, Amari Cooper, Jalen Hurts, Darren Waller, Lamar Jackson, and George Kittle are off the board. We are headed into the 7th round. If you're just tuning in, this is the Real Time Fantasy Sports Invitational 2022. This is the last and final draft of that tournament. It's 72 total teams broken down into 6 individual leagues, 12 teams per league. There's individual league prizes plus the last 3 weeks of the season. The top players from each league will play for $17,500. This was a $500 entry, and this is by Real Time Fantasy Sports. Also, you're watching the Fantasy Cure, brought to you by Real Time Fantasy Sports and Draft Hero. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, folks. Adam Thielen is off the board. I don't have any ill will about it. Aaron, it was honestly just a smart move. I think it had more to do with they couldn't stand. They really did need a good backup quarterback. I mean, Sudfeld looked absolutely horrid in preseason. I mean, he looked damn lost. So I mean, yeah, you want to, why not have that safety there, someone that that knows the offense and all those things. But I don't think for 1 second that Jimmy G is there for anything Trey Lance related. Of course, if he gets hurt, now that's one thing, yes. But beyond that, I mean, it's to me, it's good for Trey. It's going to keep pushing him, and Jimmy's been a good leader for Trey too. So, I mean, he can pick Jimmy's brain, and I feel like Jimmy's been real honest with Trey, and he hasn't held anything back with, trying to help him as he's, learning more and more about the process. I just see all good things about it, honestly. And I'm a Niners fan, so I read deep into the 49ers stuff. All right, Rashad Penny goes mid-7th. But yeah, the Jimmy G stuff doesn't scare me one bit with Trey. Some pretty interesting teams, man. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, too. They didn't want to cut him because if they cut him, there's zero opportunity to get anything for him. And plus, he probably would have ended up in Seattle, which they didn't want. And I mean, he took the pay cut, and he knew that he knew when he signed the contract that he's the backup, and he accepted that role, which I think also tells what Jimmy feels about Trey. And I just think it's good all the way around. Okay, exactly, Mizzou. That's a good point. You have a student driver, and you better have good insurance. That's perfectly said. If Trey struggles, though, Jimmy's not going to see the field. So don't get it twisted. I'm telling you right now, unless Trey is injured, Jimmy Garoppolo will never see the field. It won't be because of Trey Lance didn't play well or anything like that. I'm convinced that will not be the case. Yep. And that's kind of what I was saying too, Mizzou, is he needs live reps. He needs action. And he's fixing to get it. If you notice, Trey seemed to always get better the longer he played. He's kind of started off kind of iffy, made some weird, was kind of inaccurate, here and there, and kind of indecisive. But as the game continues, I feel like it slows down for him. He kind of gets his bearings, and then he takes off. He makes really good plays. So I think that's just gonna keep improving more and more with the live reps and the more work that he gets. He just needs reps, in my opinion. Like he literally just needs reps. All right, we've got Drake London, rookie wide receiver for the Falcons, Kyler Murray, Christian Kirk, Alan Lazard, and DeAndre Hopkins. We are coming up to the end of the 7th round. Some good chat tonight over here in the Fantasy Cure chat. Loving it. Loving this action. Loving the talk tonight. All right, let's see what happens here at the end of the 7-8 turn. Yeah, see, Aaron, I think there's zero chance of that, man. I think there's zero chance. I mean, think about all the pressure that was on on Shanahan last year to pull Jimmy out when Jimmy was complete dog shit the first 7 weeks of the season. I mean, he was horrible. He was absolutely terrible. He was playing like a damn rookie. And he never pulled him out. He stuck with him. And, and I think Trey will get the same blessing. I mean, all the stuff, all the things that they gave up to get him, to move up to get him, and what they paid in getting him, I just feel like that it's going to I mean, he's going to have to absolutely be insanely terrible, which he's not. And the team built around him it's just too good. There's too many weapons, and Kyle's such a damn good coach. I mean, he's the best offensive scheme coach in the league. All right, so finishing up the 7th, we have Devin Singletary, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Dallas Goddard, and TJ Hawkinson. All right, we are headed through the 8th round, everybody. Yeah, see, and that's the thing too, Fozzie Lake Lance. I get it. I mean, there's question marks there. I mean, I totally get it. But for where his ADP is, I don't feel like it's very risky at all. I mean, where he goes, you can take other quarterbacks. You can still take another decent quarterback to go with him if you're feeling that. That's why to me, like it's not risky at all. In my opinion, he has so much upside. I mean, there's not another quarterback really in that area that has the potential upside and the team that he has in front of him to just literally go nuts. Yeah, for sure, man. All right, Damian Harris, Kareem Hunt, James Cook, and Devontae Smith. You know, that's another player that I think is gonna have a that's gonna be a have a pretty good season that I haven't got as many shares of that I would have liked as Devontae Smith. I think it's listen. I'll put it. This will be my last comment on what probably will be on this part is we're talking. We're not saying is he going to be good or not. We're just talking fantasy production. Whereas his ADP is he's a great value with a team that's built around him. To me, it's a no brainer. I mean, it's not risky at all. Like I said, you can still if you're that uncomfortable with it, you can still get a good second quarterback on your team if you draft him. Because I mean, if you did draft him as your one, then you drafted him pretty late, which means you should be super balanced and have great depth at other positions. So to me, it's not risky at all. Like there's huge value there, and that's kind of where I'll leave it at. That's my opinion on it. Mizzou said Suncoast and TT 500 are building quite the teams. All right, Melvin Gordon's off the board. Cordarrelle Patterson. Yep, there's definitely some nice ones in here. It's so crazy how different these drafts were. I mean, these were some incredibly tough drafts, but they're all different. This one's way different than the one we had yesterday. This draft's totally different than the one we just did last night. Oh yeah, no, I mean it's gotta. I mean, you have to play devil's advocate with that situation, right, Aaron? I totally get it, man. I feel like I know the 49ers team so well, though. I mean, I really do. They're my favorite team. I've been a Niners fan since the 80s. I mean, I was born in 83. I was born in Mississippi. You know, Jerry Rice, his hometown, where he grew up is 5 minutes from where I grew up from. So, I mean, I study the Niners. I study so much about that team. So I feel like that I'm right. I'm going to be right on that situation. I'm usually right about the 49ers stuff. I'll tell you that. Because I told I put out there last year that Trey Sermon was never gonna be the running back for the 49ers. I called that last year. I said he should have been cut last season. So I'm usually pretty spot on with the Niners stuff. All right, Kenneth or Robert Woods, Miles Sanders, Robert Woods, and Kenneth Walker the third. Let's see here. Kadarius Tony. And we are into the ninth round. Daryl Henderson. Hmm. What do you guys think about the one hole? I'm thinking if I were in that position, I might have done some different things from round 5 to 9. Just my preference. Tell me what you guys think of that pick or that first pick right there. What's up, J Bo? J Busy Bone. It's a showstopper. Showstopper. Yes, Mizzou. My thoughts exactly. And he kind of went QB there when he didn't need to, I think, and really didn't need to go. I guess I'm not mad at the Waller pick. I'm just um I don't know. I think from rounds 5 down, I would have did some different stuff there. Yeah, I mean there are a lot of reports out there. They're saying that it could almost be like a split, basically. Um, I just think Akers is 50 times more talented than Henderson. He just needs to stay his ass healthy. But I mean Henderson's injury prone as well. Michael Carter in the ninth at the 9-2 spot, and then Joey Burrow. Yeah, or at least got to get one of them. Mizzou, I agree with that. You know what, Hulk Smash? All you want to do is make me sing. You know what, Hulk? You give me a song to karaoke, and I will just we'll do a Zoom call, and I'll just sing karaoke just for you. I mean, I was singing Enrique Iglesias last night. It doesn't get much better than that. Hell, listen, I'm not. The talent part of the stream is not me singing. Okay, I get it. I get it. I'm not here just to sing. I understand. I'm supposed to be here to help people, right? And to be be to be a great resource for the community. We're building relationships here now. I mean, hell, Smash. If we can't be taking showers side by side in stalls together and singing karaoke to each other, I mean, what are we really doing here? All right, we got Chris Olave, Russell Wilson, Sky Moore, George Pickens, Rashad White, and Dak Prescott. Okay, here's a guy. Okay, here is somebody I wanted to talk about tonight. Guys, what are we thinking about George Pickens? What are we thinking about the Pickens love? Dang, Mizzou, you went straight. Mizzou went straight for the cutthroat. Seeing Whitney Houston. Yeah, I think a lot of stuff's has fell pretty well to the end of the end rounds here. Hulk said no shower. Oh, Hulk, you want to play like that, huh? Okay. So Hulk will put a humping Hulk figure on my damn stream for the entire 2 hour half hours of stream, but we can't take showers in separate stalls together. Now what's wrong with that picture, guys? Listen, Hulk, one of us is being fake, and it ain't me. All right. Oh my gosh. All right. So Preston says he avoids Pickens. Fozzie says that he loves him. Mizzou says not sure of quarterback situation. Very true. The Steelers do grow wide receivers like Nebraska raises corn. The Corn Huskers. All right, let's see what Holly does here at the 9-10 turn. Gainwell. Homie, don't play that. Wow. Speaking of Trey Lance in the 10th round to Holly. Holly. Sorry, not Holly. Good grief, Gats. Come on, man. Do you think that he's okay, Fozzie? Tell me your opinion on this, or all of you can chime in. Do we think that I'm not going to mention his name because he's not been drafted yet, but do we think that Pickens is going to be able to beat the other guy out for number two duties? I know it's not the case right this minute, but do we think by let's just say mid-season, do we think that Pickens will be number two, the number two on that depth chart? Yeah, They barely beat North Dakota, man. That was actually a good game. I really feel like Scott Frost is probably going to get fired, man. He probably should have got fired last season. I don't know what the deal is. He just is not. He's not the answer, though. I'll tell you that. This Notre Dame Ohio State game is really good. Notre Dame's defense is no joke, man. All right, Raheem Mostert. Yeah, because I saw again, I won't say his name. He hasn't been drafted yet. But they said the other guy has been running a lot in the slot. I saw that too, Fozzie. But I just don't know what that again. I don't know what that equates to. Um, I mean, I guess the same thing can be said on a lot of those guys in that area. I mean, there's some risky picks all around. Like a lot of people are high on Sky Moore, and I get that too. But there's so many mouths to feed. Listen, if it's one thing that you haven't learned from preseason, I'll tell you this: is that Mahomes does not give a damn. He's just going to make the right read every single time. He doesn't care who the person is. So, I mean, to me, that kind of, I don't know, man. That kind of, or let me rephrase that. The non-Kelsey, the non-Kelsey personnel on that team at wide receiver. Let's just put it that way. I mean, he's going to target Kelsey, but still. Trubisky has a great arm though. He really does. Matt Nagy is the one who ruined Trubisky, in my opinion. I mean, that guy was an idiot. All right, there he is. He's off the board finally, so we can talk about the Chase Claypool deal. All right, but let me go back. All right, so we're at Kirk Cousins. Then it was Zach Ertz, Cole Kmet, Tyler Lockett, Naheem Hines, Traylon Burks, and Chase Claypool, guys. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how much work. I just don't know how much fantasy production Pickens will get this season. Same thing with Claypool though. I mean, Deontay Johnson is by a landslide the best wide receiver on that team, and he's going to be the most targeted wide receiver by a mile. I mean, we know they want to run the ball. It doesn't mean they always will because a lot of times they can't. I mean, it's one of those situations. I don't know. I mean, I definitely do think Pickens can help with some things. I just don't know where it equates fantasy production wise. That's my struggle with that situation. But I mean, it is the ninth round. Like I said, everyone that's being drafted around that area has huge question marks. Like we just kind of hit on Sky Moore and the Michael Gallup situation. Tyler Lockett in the 10th. All right, then we got James Robinson is off the board in round 10. Yeah, yeah, that player too, Aaron. Agreed. Man, this Ohio State Notre Dame game, we got us a game here, guys. Notre Dame came to play today. All right, Algier is off the clock. Then the one hole goes Madison and Dobbs. Oh yeah, lots of good combo. And this is exactly what I want the stream to be every single time. I really do. All right, Jahan Dotson off the board. Khalil Herbert. The more this is kind of just a random thought in my head, but how much? I mean, how compared to Miles Gaskin, how how much better do we think Chase Edmonds is? I mean, because as bad as that team was last year, their scheme on offense was just unbelievably terrible. They got this new regime with this great offensive mind who's, top 5 run game coordinators in the league. Like, he knows how to make schemes for the running back situation to just open up and make it work. So, I mean, Chase Edmonds could be an absolute damn steal in these drafts in the 6th round. I mean, I took him last night, and I'm pretty damn happy about it. I took him as my RB2. But I don't know, man. I don't know what it's going to equate to either for fantasy production. Raheem Mostert doesn't, worry me at all. I probably shouldn't have said his name there, but sorry. Or he's already been drafted. Never mind. But anyways, Mostert doesn't really worry me because, he's always freaking hurt. I mean, that guy's always hurt. It's why the Niners were like, they didn't want to pay him. But I mean, the more I think about it, like Edmonds, if his health, he can stay upright, man. My gosh, I mean, I don't know. Damn, AC, that is huge value with Knox and Komet. Damn, I would have been super happy too. I tell you what, I haven't had a lot of those drafts fall where those two guys, where the tight ends in general fall that far from me. All right, we've got. All right, so after Khalil Herbert, we went Dawson Knox, Aaron Rodgers, Isaiah Pacheco, Pat Fryermuth, Josh Palmer, and Nico Collins. We're about to round out round number 11. Tell me, guys, what you think on that on the Chase Edmonds comment, y'all. I want to hear your opinions on it. I want to hear your opinions. All right, Mecole Hardman, Tyler Boyd, and now we've got Holly on the board to round out round 11. We're headed to the 12th. This draft's actually moving a hell of a lot faster than ours did. Our draft was so freaking slow yesterday. My gosh. Maybe it's because I was streaming and drafting. Okay, now see, look. Stephen Hawley did exactly what I was talking about. That to me is why there is no risk in it. Trey Lance, and he's still able to get Matt Stafford. And I'm telling you, every time, if you're waiting that late to get him anyway, you're going to be able to get a second quarterback that's really good. See, Smirk, I agree, man. That offense should be electric. I mean, you've got those guys spreading it out all over the place. Yeah, again, I'm a Niners fan. I love Mostert too, but the way he runs, he just gets, he gets injured. I don't know, man. And it's not, he doesn't usually get like small injuries either. He usually gets banged up pretty good. All right, my gosh, and he gets Zamir White too. All right, Derek Carr is off the board. Yeah, I think Steven's having a really. Oh, everything's falling to him. He was in a good spot in this draft. Seems like lots of stuff's really fell to him. Oh, nice, Brock. All right, we've got Devontae Parker, KJ Osborne, and Russell Gage. And Jacoby Myers off the board. We're about middle of the 12th round, you guys. I'm gonna go over to the site. right, Mizzou? My goodness. Let me go to the site over here and see what drafts they have upcoming for tonight. The next TFC is at 10:30. So they got one at 10:30 or 9:30 my time, one at midnight or 11 o'clock my time, one at 1 a.m. Man, I might do 2 TFCs tonight, honestly. I feel like I'm in a drafting mood right now. No huggy, no kissy unless you're here on Sundays. Brady said, I'm a peacock, Giselle. You got to let me fly. Oops, I'm sorry, guys. The board kind of froze. There we go. All right, so we got Julio Jones, Irv Smith Jr., Wandell Moore, and Garrett Wilson. Smirk says he thinks Jacoby is a huge value, 83 receptions. Yeah, I mean Jacoby's issue last year was he didn't catch touchdowns, but Mac Jones is another seasoned, and I mean they did add Devontae Parker, which doesn't really scare me or anything, but hell, if anything, it could open up some things having him, Kendrick Bourne, and Jacoby. I mean, Jacoby definitely can't do any worse on touchdowns than he did last season. Man, I'm telling you, Aaron, you nailed it, man. All right, Garrett Wilson. Just seen it timeout. All right, DJ Sharks off the board. Jamal Williams and Wandell Robinson. This is the one that's just mind-boggling to me. Is Wandell Robinson? We kind of talked about it a little bit. I have Wandell Robinson literally on at least 70% of my fantasy teams. I mean, I think it's so. I just think it's so wild. I mean, you should be the starting slot receiver, and there's really no one there that can. I mean, it's just like, oh man, he's behind such and such. I mean, one guy's one concussion away from literally his career being ended. One guy can never freaking stay healthy or on the field, who's supposed to be their one, Tony. And then you got the other guy who hasn't been drafted yet. I'm not going to say his name, but he's, man. If he comes in and does what he can do, man, Wandell could be a massive steal in these drafts. I really like that Jamal Williams pick too. Exactly. All right, so Smirk says, what do we think about Chark? I think Chark's in a good position too. I just don't know what it equates to fantasy points. Because like I was kind of talking about too, like they have a lot of good, decent wide receivers on that team. I mean, it's not bad getting them in the 12th round though. That's pretty good. All right, Tyrion Davis Price, Hunter Henry, and Isaiah Spiller off the board. J.D. McKissic's off the board. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Our first defense is off the board. Buffalo Bills. Njoku. Now that's a name right there. Man, AC in the 14th. Holy smokes, that's awesome, dude. All right, Mark Ingram. It looks like Jeff Wilson was a time or auto pick there. Mizzou says his sleeper wide receiver is still out there. All right, Mizzou. So when he's drafted, tell us about it. Whenever he comes off the board, tell us a little bit about it if you don't mind, and why he's your sleeper. Oh, Arkansas held on to beat Cincinnati. It's a pretty good game. All right, we're coming up to the end of round number 13, y'all. Darrell Williams comes off the board. Isaiah McKenzie. God dang, that's a stealer right there. I mean, I'm telling you, everything's falling to Holly, man. Gosh damn. McKenzie's a huge in the 13th round, in my opinion, too. Alec Pierce off the board. Oh yeah, Nico Collins has his ADP has definitely rised for sure. Yeah, I think Nico's going to have a pretty good season too, Mizzou. I agree with you, man. Jarvis Landry, second pick of the 14th round. All right, Jerick McKinnon, Dearness Johnson, Amir Abdullah, and Justin Fields. Okay, now this is kind of what I wanted to talk about here, because I saw I think it was Mallins and AC last night were kind of or I guess they kind of went back and forth on it at one time, but anyways, I wanted to talk about Jerick McKinnon, guys. Tell me your feeling on McKinnon, and then I'll tell you guys mine. I want to hear what are your opinions on Jerick McKinnon, and what do you think? Like, what kind of targets do you think, like usage wise, what do you think that's going to be for him? And why do you think he's a good pick? Other than it's good value, you're getting value no matter what in the 14th round if they show up to play. All right, Deonta Foreman is off the clock. Okay, maybe nobody wants to give me their opinion on Jerick McKinnon because he's not important. Is that what it is, guys? Come on, give me some feedback here. What are we? We're talking about Jerick McKinnon. Tell me your guys' thoughts about McKinnon. Man, Brian Robinson Jr. in the 14th. If he can somehow get back by like week 5 or 6, and man, I don't know, that could be a massive stealer right there. Truth kind of took him and McKissick. That's kind of cool. All right, Mizzou says not a fan. I know Jones had bad preseason, but I think it goes CEH Jones Pacheco. KJ Hamler is off the board. We're about to round up round 14, everybody. Again, this is the Fantasy Cure episode number 7. The Fantasy Cure is brought to you by Real Time Fantasy Sports and Draft Hero. Jalen Tolbert off the board. All right, AC says, Preston says, great player. Yeah, the B-Rob shot sucks, man. McKinnon mirror CH, and I think he still some third down work and maybe 2-minute offense. The running back situation just makes me nervous. I love Pacheco. Think contribute, but randomly. Okay, so I agree with some of what you guys said too. Let me just put that out there. Really good stuff each of you said. So here's my thing on McKinnon. Is McKinnon? Let me tell you something. If this was Jerick McKinnon pre the 49ers, I mean, yes, that burst that McKinnon used to have was damn near Jamal Charles-esque. Like when he stuck his foot down and made a cut, man, I'm talking about there was no one that was going to catch him. He just had that initial burst that was so crazy. He doesn't have that anymore. I do think he'll still have some decent like flex. You'll still get some decent flex weeks out of him. At no point in time do I expect him to be on the field other than third down at this point in his career. And I know that was a little different last year, but I just think they have much better depth. I mean, they invested in Ronald Jones. He barely made the team, but he made it. And the Pacheco's just look like the part. And I get the CEH stuff. Like I'm not crazy about Edwards-Helaire either. Like I think CEH has very poor vision. But I don't know. I will say this. The one thing that McKinnon has going for him is Andy Reid trusts him. And he's a pretty smart football player. So that's the one thing. Knowledge does matter. So I'll give McKinnon that. And he's still good in space, although he's still not as fast as he used to be. And because he just had so much damage to his knees, man. But I still think McKinnon could give some flex weeks, not every week, but sometimes there, and depending on the running back injuries, situation with the Chiefs, if they have any, and what they're doing there. I just don't see usage wise. I'm not sure how much usage he'll have. I definitely have Pacheco in front of Jones now at this point, though. Jones just, I don't know what that situation is with him. Me and Smirk talked about it before off air, and it was the same thing in Tampa Bay. It's like, why could he never be the guy? I mean, when he was the guy that one game last year, he had a pretty good game, but it's like something is off there. And the same thing happened when he went to Kansas City. Like everybody was like, "Oh, he's definitely the backup." Then a rookie comes in and kicks his ass in camp. So it's like I'm confused. Like there's something there that's not added. There's like a light bulb that just hasn't went off for him. Something he's not doing right or doing well enough to basically have coaches, entrust him with getting a certain amount of usage. But I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like McKinnon is just like some still or anything either, or like I think he's just gonna, I just don't see. I don't know. I think third down running back at the best, and Pacheco has really good hands too, and so does Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So I don't know, man. Well, yeah, Fournette happened at Tampa Bay, but I mean, Ronald Jones has had so many opportunities to do more, and he just didn't. And then the same thing with this Kansas City situation. Like, there should have never been a doubt in anyone's mind that he was, like, hands down the number 2 guy. So I'm just telling you from my perspective, like, usually when that happens through multiple teams, like, okay, something's not adding up for you. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's pass protection. I don't know if he's just not very he's not comprehending the offensives, the scheme, the way it works. I'm not sure what it is, but something's definitely not adding up through 2 teams for him that makes me scratch my head because I mean he should have easily won the number 2 job in my opinion. Oh yeah, McKinnon surprised a lot of people for sure. But I mean, they added 2 running backs, and they added 2 pretty good running backs too. So that's my only thing with it is the usage for that situation. Um, but yeah, and trust me, Mizzou, I had Ronald Jones on probably 80% of my football teams last year on my fantasy league teams. I drafted him pretty much almost every single draft. And he actually paid off that one week for me that he played. But still, like there was just something. It was so frustrating, man. It's the same old thing. Like he barely made the team. Like let's not get that twisted. He barely made this damn team. Like I guarantee you, he was down and he was 45th and below, going towards that 53. Maybe he might have even been in the 50s. So I don't know, man. Something doesn't add up with the way with the practices or whatever. But that's true, Mizzou. And listen, I do think that Ronald Jones is a capable running back. I just don't know what the hell this deal is with with him just going somewhere and he slides down the depth chart. He slid down the other depth chart. It's just I mean, it makes you think. That's a good point though. I mean, of course, there's tons of propaganda out there to make to try to to get a player like light a fire under their ass for sure. I get that. I think the Gibson one was there was definitely truth in that one. I mean, man, they had him. He was doing kickoff returns. I know people are putting Gibson back up like he went round 6 here. I wouldn't be surprised, man, if old Riverboat Ron doesn't roll out some damn running back we ain't never heard of week 1. And Gibson, don't be surprised. I'm telling you right now, if Gibson's not the starting running back week 1 still. I mean, it would not surprise me at all. It's crazy. Yeah, I remember it was pass blocking there too. Maybe that's one of the big issues. I mean, maybe that's why he slid down this one too. All right, but let me go through some picks here, guys. I kind of missed the last whole round. All right, so I got to Eno Benjamin the 14th and Jamison Williams. Then we had Big Albert O for the Broncos, Robert Tanya, Tua Tagovailoa, Christian Watson, Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Noah Fant, Sony Michelle, Tyler Higbee, Jameis Winston, Everett, and Mike Davis to round out round 15. Heading into 16, Brevin Jordan, Gus Edwards, Will Fuller, Zach Moss, Daniel Jones, Justin Tucker, Austin Hooper, the Colts defense, and McPherson. Yeah, he definitely had some drops in the catch game for sure. It's so crazy though. I mean, Ronald Jones reminds me of Marshawn Lynch, man. The way he runs, like he can run, he can just run people over, man. He's a strong dude. He's really fast. He's got some power, but yeah, something there is just weird. I saw enough in preseason from Pacheco just to know that kid. I'm telling you right now, Pacheco, in my opinion, has better vision than any other running back on that team. I mean, that kid has some great vision. I mean, they had to keep somebody, Aaron. So they had to keep him. And like I said, I mean, it's crazy that they had to even ponder keeping Jones. That's what's crazy to me. It's like, damn. Seems like he could have easily came in and won the backup job, but he just didn't. It doesn't look good at all. But like Mizzou said, I mean, they could be just trying to light a fire under his ass too. I just don't believe that though, because I mean it's the same situation in Tampa Bay. He just kept falling more and more behind. It seemed it was weird. Um, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, Hackett they liked using the tight end in Green Bay. Um, and when was called upon Russell Wilson, like when they actually used their tight ends in Seattle, I mean it usually worked pretty well. They had some really good tight ends for a lot of years. They were just different guys in Seattle, but I don't know. He could be a sneaky good pick too. All right, Daniel Carlson, 49ers defense to round out 16. Dontrell Hilliard, round 17, and Matt Ryan off the board. We've got four more rounds here to finish up 17, 18, 19, and 20. This is the Fantasy Cure, episode number 7, brought to you by Real Time Fantasy Sports and Draft Hero. Oh, yeah, he's an athletic specimen for sure. All right, there goes Kenny Galladay in round 17. Jamison Crowder in round 17. Get some vets here. Wide receiver. Greg Josephs off the board. Let me see if any of these leagues are filling up, guys. Sorry, I need to check real quick. Did another one? Oh man, did that 10:30 one fill, or did people just jump out of that one? The 11:59 one's down to 9. That one looks like it's in good shape. Damn, it's the same. It's the same reason Trey Lance goes late, Smirk. Even though Tua even goes a little later. I mean, they've seen the sample size of him though. Round 15 here, it's crazy. I mean, I agree. It's like you can't have that argument both ways. You can't like all those players, but then not like him. I mean, hell, any of us could probably put the ball in those playmaker hands. Good grief! All right, Greg, we got a bunch of kickers here. Then Haskins, Samaji Piran. We're about to round out round 17, guys. Marvin Jones. See, man, I'm telling you, I think Isaiah McKenzie is such a damn steal. Holy smokes! Holy smokes! Man, Appalachian State almost took North Carolina out. I don't understand why Oregon's ranked so damn high every single year. It's the same old story, man. That team is so freaking underrated. What are your thoughts on Mckenzie Preston? Van, I'll tell you what, Van Jefferson to me is a great wide receiver target late in drafts too. Nice pick by Suncoast right there. Yeah, definitely some potential there. Agreed, Mizzou. You don't think McKenzie's is still Preston? Yeah, they have Crowder and Shakir, but they're behind him. We saw how electric Mckenzie was last season too. Or maybe I should rephrase how I said that. He could be a huge steal in round 13. Let's put it that way. Kyle Phillips and Rex Burkhead. Yeah, I think we all agree on Van Jefferson for sure. The Kyle Phillips had a really nice camp too. Speaking of the trying to motivate someone with the Traylon Burks thing, I don't know what the hell to think about that. All I know is if they're not going to use him, somebody needs to get fired on that. Whoever was like all over to get that pick, they need to fire that person, the GM or whoever. Yeah, I think it had more to do with depth for sure. Still 10-7 Notre Dame so far. Oh, that's going to be a flag. Ouch. You think OBJ is going to go back to the Rams? I can see it. I don't know, man. I've got a feeling OBJ might go to the Packers. I feel like OBJ is going to go to Green Bay. All right, Isaiah. We got Kenyon Drake, Cowboys defense, Isaiah Likely, and the Chargers D. Peoples Jones. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he went there. I just have some weird suspicion that he's going to go. Hey, you too, Mizzou. I'm glad you were able to chat with us finally. I'm not sure what in the world is going on with that subscription thing. I'll try to help you figure that out too, though. Well, I mean, hell, he was in Cleveland. It was pretty cold there. It gets pretty cold in New York City. I guess that's still not the frozen tundra, though. But still. Yeah, Preston, I agree, man. I'm not sure. I don't know if I don't know if OBJ would be back either. I don't know what OBJ wants to do. Yeah, I think Von Miller did too, AC, but you see where he went to Buffalo, so oh, I get it. I get it for sure. All right, we have Peoples Jones, Laviska Chenault, Tampa Bay's defense. Nwangwu for the Vikings, the Saints defense, Chris Evans. Yeah, Cleveland is pretty damn cold too. Agreed. Ryan Tannehill in the 18th round. Two more rounds to go. It's probably just going to be a bunch of kicker defense stuff, you guys. All right, we've been streaming for about an hour and a half. This draft went a lot faster than ours. I'll tell you that. My goodness. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call that stream. We're just looking at kickers and defenses right here. Overall, a really solid draft. A lot of good teams in here. And should be some interesting competition coming out from some of these teams. We'll see if the Invitational Draft number 6 can produce the overall champion in that Invitational $500 draft. Again, this was the Fantasy Cure, episode number 7, brought to you by Real Time Fantasy Sports and Draft Hero. I want to appreciate each and every one of y'all for jumping in the chat with me. I'll update you guys on Discord when the next stream will be. You can always find that too on YouTube. Whenever I schedule the stream, it'll pop up and let you know when the next one's going to be live. Okay, AC, thanks, buddy. Hey, seriously though, I love the chat in here. Really enjoyed all of the talk. This was a great environment tonight. I really do appreciate it. Good luck to everybody that was in this draft or just in the invitational period. Go buy up those TFCs. Getting some more drafts. Let's finish it out hard, you guys, and get on that waiver wire work because we're getting ready for next week. So I will see you guys sometime in the near future next week here, and we'll probably talk some waiver wire stuff coming up. So if you're interested in that, if there's anything else you guys want to hear about or talk about during the stream, there's a channel, The Cure, on the Discord for RT Sports. Join on that channel as well, and you can post in there some things that if you'd like me to discuss. But otherwise, good luck to y'all on your drafts. Should have a huge weekend of drafting, everybody. It's happy Labor Day weekend, everybody, as well. Thanks a lot for joining and tuning in tonight. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys back here soon. Thanks a lot, everybody. Y'all have a great weekend.
You want a new salon. It's